Hello students, how are you? I am Parv Gupta back with another video. In this video 5, today we will be learning about OLED display, programming it and running our microcontroller board on a 6 volt AA battery powered pack. So let's get started. First off, to run your OLED, you need to hook up your OLED display to the microcontroller, connecting first the VCC and the ground wires, that is the 3.3 volt to our OLED display. Now you need to connect the SDA and the SCL wires, that is the clock and the data wires that are using I2C communication in order to send data to our OLED display. Now once you have connected all the wires as shown, we need to connect our display in the following way. Now we are ready to power it on and upload the code. We are currently using the sample code in order to test the display and check if everything is running correctly. Just bring the board in boot up mode and use the reset button in order to flash the code. Once uploading of the code is complete, you can press the reset button in order to see the OLED code running in it. Now as you can see, our OLED has started to display something, and these are the sample images to test our OLED. OLED provide us with a very small display that is very easy to look at and even easier to program. So that's why we preferably use these small displays in order to display small bits and chunks of data. You can also display whatever images you want to display on it. We'll look at how to hook up our 4 cell based 6 volt battery to our microcontroller board. Now we have got the negative and the positive terminal labeled on the back side of our board. So just screw the wires in positive and negative onto the board itself and turn on the button onto the on position. Here goes your wireless project. Once the code is programmed into the microcontroller board, you can just hook it up to a battery pack and let it running until the battery lasts. No need of a wired connection. This would be a very much portable project. Not just this project, you can hook up your battery pack to any of your other projects too in the similar way. Our battery is being regulated by a 3.3 volt regulator and then being fed into the microcontroller board and turn off easily through this toggle switch. Now let us look at a very basic code for our OLED display. First of all, we are including in 3 different libraries, that is the wire, Adafruit GFX and Adafruit SSD library in the line number 1, 2 and 3. We come to line number 4 where we declare a variable that is count that we'll be using later. Now we need to define the screen width, that is 128 by 64 pixels in our current display. Then we are using the library in order to initialize the statements. Then we get into the void setup, that is the part of the code which is run once every time you reset it. Now we begin the serial port, ask if the display is working and is connected. If it's connected, we go ahead, or if the display is not connected or not working, we receive this SSD allocation failed on our serial port. Then we set the default color of white onto our display. Now we move on to the void loop, that is the part of the code which is run continuously again and again. Here we initialize the count variable. Now here we add an integer 1 to the count variable that we have declared earlier in order to get a running number series. As you can see in the line number 22, we are clearing anything that is displayed on the display using this command display.clearDisplay. Set the text size to 2. You can either use 3 or 1, whatever suits you. So now we are setting the cursor. Here the left one means x-axis and the right one means y-axis. So setting a cursor to 0, 0 means to the complete starting point of both the axes, x and y. We print by things. Then we set the cursor to x30 and y30 coordinates. These are according to the pixels. For example, we have got 128 pixels. So in the x direction, we can go up to 128 pixels, and in the y direction, we can go up to 64 pixels. We print that count function. And now as you can see, we are getting that increment of the count after every 100 milliseconds due to the delay. This display.display in line number 28 is being used in order to display all the data that has been printed in the above lines. This is how you can make your own custom code for the OLED display. Thanks students, this was it for the video number 5 tutorial series video. We'll meet next time with another video.